Assalamu alaikum. The changes that one makes to their body in order to change, whether we're talking about natural changes or whether we're talking about the way that a person was created initially, is not permissible to change unless there was a deformality. So even if, let's say, somebody was created with a nose that is just outstandingly too big, in where it's really causing a deformality in the person's face, we're talking about an outstanding, deformality. All right, then in that situation, a deformality can be changed. So when we're talking about Botox, or when we're talking about fillers, or when we're talking about plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery, they're only allowed when there is a deformality, not for appearance. So therefore, when we're looking at changing the appearance, probably to appear younger, to appear more beautiful, to appear attractive, whatever it is, or to, it makes me feel better, all of these different things, those are very relative. And therefore, we have to go back to the general ayah, وَلَا أَمُرَنَّهُمْ فَلِيُغَيِّرُنَّ خَلْقَ اللَّهِ. I will order them to change the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is what Shaitan said. The other thing is that there is another hadith where the Prophet ﷺ actually said that لَعْنَ اللَّهُ النَّامِسَ وَالْمُتَنَمِّسَ الْوَاشِمَ وَالْمُسْتَوْشِمَ الْوَاصِرَ وَالْمُسْتَوْصِلَ, that the Lord Almighty had cursed the person that namasa, which basically changes and does certain changes in the eyebrows, whether it's removing the eyebrows and putting instead of it what today they would use, these types of tattooing, or what is called microblading, or whatever it is. That's all haram. And the second thing is really braiding the teeth in a certain way where they'll blade certain parts of the teeth in order to appear at a certain appearance, younger, or whatever it is. And of course, the tattooing. Tahir ibn Ashur explains the reason why, and he said, well, that was the trend at the time that was common between il-fusaq, between those that were not pious. And this is extremely important for those that don't recognize how trends are making us focus on the outside. So when you look at these two ahadith, which are actually considered the most important two evidences that speak about the dangers that will be used against humanity in order to change their fitrah. Now, Salih al-Fawzan did a PhD dissertation in that regards and considered that changing the age changes, the natural age changes, is actually haram because of that ayah. Number two, there was a conference that was done in Malaysia and by the different scholars of fiqh that joined in al-Majma' al-Fiqhi there, and they also had mentioned that type of cosmetic change is actually stemming from the idea which the Quran had already warned us about. So having that being said, all this type of cosmetic surgery that is just to change appearance, the Quran wanted people to focus on their heart. But if there was a clear deformality, that's the only time that the Quran would permit it, or Islam would permit it. If there's an obvious deformality, or if there is an illness. I know that sometimes they might use certain Botox to treat certain veins or to treat certain things in the medical world in order to probably give some cure as well. So that's a different story for medical or even for a deformality that's permissible. So I hope I answered that question. Assalamu alaikum.